this month of March. As always, going to be talking about what it takes to get you the financial results that you are looking for. So as we get started, let us know in the chat box or on the social platforms you're listening to. What's been your intention for this month? And let us know where you're coming from as we get started here. So Laurel, how are we doing today, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you? So again, those of you that are in the chat, let us know where you're coming from. And then I also want to know, what has your intention been? So we've been talking, we are in the 4 of 5 weeks of I'm going to say webinar, but also a podcast, a live stream. I know we're on Facebook, a lot of other channels. We're talking about luck and intention and how do you have both? So let us know where you are calling in from, zooming in from, again, Houston, Caribbean. Who else is out there? We've got 30 people. I need more out in the chat. Hi, Dr. Jean, who's jamming. Dr. Jean, I probably want you just to maybe even say something in the chat about, I just want to acknowledge you. You are working through building, leading, protecting, and it is a rocking business plan. And that is how you're going to get clear with intention. So Jean, maybe share with the chat what you have been learning going through that. Because it's critical. If you don't have a business plan, you're not going to get anywhere. So we are very clear about our curriculum, I'm going to call it. In January, we did New Year, New You, and really clear about just your goals. Who are you? Who are you? What do you want? What are the 8 areas of life you want? How do you set up 2021 to be amazing? And we did all this goal setting. In February, we kind of took a little tangent over to love and money, but that wasn't a small one. So John, I see you out there from Philadelphia. I don't know if Eileen's joining as well today, but they were a part of helping fulfill. Those of you who want to really understand love and money, we gave you a contract. Too many people break up, get divorced, business divorces as well, because you didn't have a contract. So those are going to be ongoing campaigns, ongoing initiatives. And here we are in March, close to the end of March, so close. And this means Q1. So what it means to you financially is that we are a fourth of the year through the year. And how are you doing financially? In these early quarters, if you could still reset, pivot, I hate that word, but as people say, you've got to shift what you're doing to make sure you're keeping up. Some of you started out in January, and actually I'd like to see in the chat, how many of you are actually on course to what you said you do in January? And Thomas, I'm going to have you come back and talk about the luck and intention campaign, and then we're going to get into some future pacing content. So who is all, I love that, Nancy, who is all out here? So they're picking up the phone. Right, Nancy's picking up the phone. Perfect.
So as Laurel said, we do have the Luck and Intention contest for the month of March. Go to asklaurel.com/lucky, where you can enter in for your chance to win $15,000 towards coaching product or program within the Integrated Wealth Systems community here. Very simple. You enter in, you get points. You refer people, they enter in, you get points. They refer people, they enter in, you all get points. The person with the most points at the end of the contest will be the winner. So as we always practice what we preach here, it is all derived results from the intention. So this month, again, you have the opportunity to win $50,000 towards coaching programs through the contest. Again, go to asklaurel.com/lucky. We have over 700 people registered in right now, but depending on your intention and your work, could still be wide open opportunity for you to win that prize.
All right. So awesome. And again, 700, I think we should set a goal. We only have a little more than a week left, but let's go get 1,000 people. Why not? I think we should get 1,000 people.
I like it.
Again, Dr. Hess, your intention is to get what I have to keep my glasses on like you have. Get shit wired. I love it. So you do need to get your shit wired. That's kind of a different way of saying I have a hell of a good business plan. So again, building, leading, protecting. Thomas, I'm going to have you dig that out, or Steve over there. It is such an extraordinary process. In fact, if you want a little more robust one, Steve and I did a masterclass on it for $197. And I know it's in our store somewhere, but that thing is killing it. Eileen and John say we're right on schedule. Well done. Cheryl says your intention is to stay focused, making more money, learning and earning, getting stronger. Perfect. Not where you want to be. I know you got to double, triple those sales, Jason. not as good as you thought. So what I'm going to say to a lot of you is I want you to look at your calendar. So today is about future pacing. So again, let me do a little review of where we've been. Where we have been to begin is just the difference between luck and intention was like week 1. I think I'm looking at the calendar, March 2nd. And then we went on to your financial IQ. Right? And understanding what your financial IQ is. So again, if you are joining us on Facebook, here live on Zoom. Some of you are joining us on Laurel's Real Money Talks, a podcast about money. We're in a 5-part podcast about luck and intention. Again, week 1 was just what is intention in general? How do you live intentionally? And then again, financial IQ. And that has a lot to do with your emotional IQ. And again, if you've never read the book, Emotional Intelligence, it's one of those good old greats that you should probably read on a regular basis, and right next to Millionaire Maker, hint, hint, and Think and Grow Rich. You need some of these big classics to kind of keep your year in order. And then last week we talked about self-management, which is like a detailed, real structure of how you manage and drive your life. Now, today's future pacing. Future pacing assumes, I'm going to say this loud, future pacing assumes all those other things are handled, that you understand intention. It assumes that in addition to understanding intention, that you are really clear about the growth of your IQ and your financial IQ. And I can tell you, journaling is one of the best things you're ever going to do. Like, it is remarkable to look back at old journals of where you are today and giving yourself some scores on where you are. Self-management. This is you like really managing to detail your time, your commitments, your accountability. What do you say you want in your life and going to get it? You just don't get a write off. Well, it's another year, did the same thing. Like, who wants to be those people? I know you don't want to be those people, or you wouldn't be here. That you wouldn't be here if you are just the people that check the box, check the box, check the box. You want to be those people who actually check the box because, I'm saying check the box and then you actually don't really get what you want. I'm saying you want to be those people who create, who design, who move people. Future pacing assumes all of that's handled, because when you have intention and you're clear on your financial IQ and you're clear on what you're going to create, your goals, future pacing is required. So future pacing, the best way I know to describe it is you're going to pace your year. So you're not living, yes, like right now I am present and I'm here with you. What's coming in my future, right, to give you a micro example, is we have a Millionaire Maker marketplace coming up this Thursday and Friday. So we're getting our teams ready. We're getting our systems ready and just updated, refresh. Right after that, through the weekend, we have a big table coming. And I believe with all staff, we have over 100 people coming to Reno, Nevada for the big table. That would include, I know our numbers was around 88 to 90. And with all the instructors, the staff, guests, sponsors, everybody coming. I know it's over 100 people. Come to the Whitney Peaks Hotel, Reno, Nevada. They're coming in on Sunday. We start at 8:30 on Monday morning. I think actually 8 starts registration. So that will be going on. And then we do another event on Wednesday. We're in real estate. So can you imagine if you didn't self-manage, if you didn't self-pace and future pace, and you just got up in the morning, which is how a lot of people live. And if I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking loudly to you, or I'm speaking to those of you who only maybe plan out a week or maybe 2 weeks. I've just shared with you 2 weeks, because then we're heading into Easter. We're right into April, and April is completely, designed as well. So future pacing does require a calendar. I was on a broadcast earlier today, and I always say, because Bob Proctor taught me, show me your calendar, show me your checkbook, I'll tell you what's important to you. And I believe that in every ounce of those words. Show me your calendar, show me your checkbook. That shows me how you spend. It shows me how you spend your time. It also shows me how you value your time. And if you don't have a calendar, it's why things probably aren't working, and in detail. Like I'm just going to say, some of you need to be booked with the amount of leads you have from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And you need to be closing, no tangents, no other conversation, ask, tell, ask, and you go for it until that script's right. So I heard on this broadcast, it was great though. He said, your calendar is your calculator. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting, because it's very true. Your calendar will determine the kind of meetings you have. It's going to determine how you spend all those time. So future pacing, although it sounds simple, it's not. I actually, the person who taught this to me gave me an assignment. I'm going to give it to you. I want you to go out 365 days. So I want you to go to March 23rd, which, by the way, I have to say happy birthday to my dad. He passed years and years and years ago. It's my father's birthday today. So great day to be remembered. But I want you to go to 2022. And then I want you to reverse engineer your success. So by then, if you said you want to be making 20,000 a month, 50,000 a month, you want to be having X number, also speak to Jason, X number of policies a day or a week. Eileen and John, X number of, credit repair clients, right? Kelly, X number of real estate deals, during your month. So if you think about what's the goal a year from now, and then back it up, meaning you have to talk to this many people. This requires a lot of business planning. That's why, Jean, I want to acknowledge you in the business planning. And I believe the team put in the link there's a product right up there. It's shopintegratedwealthsystems.com, and gives you a product code. But you're looking for building, leading, protecting your business. So Jean, again, launching a new business, that business plan program is critical. Being on fast cash coaching sessions with Thomas and Steve, critical. Being on the marketplace, if you've already been, go to the graduate marketplace, critical. It should all be mapped out in your calendar. You shouldn't wonder what you're going to do every month. You shouldn't wonder what you're going to do every week, because the activities that drive your goal need to be laid out in your calendar. So as you set goals and you say, okay, I'm out March 22nd, 23rd, 2022, what has to have occurred, right? And then you reverse engineer it. That's like, it is a pretty rigorous activity to reverse engineer a year of your life. Because what a lot of people say, well, I can't even, keep up with, all the changes and all the things that are going on. And then think about it. Really, does any of that matter? I mean, I would say a year ago mattered a lot, right? It transitioned us to here, right? Because I went from a live event running around in a private plane, speaking sometimes 3 times a day in different cities, to 3 times a weekend to 5 times a week. That life changed, but it came on here, and it's actually more aggressive because you don't have to keep moving around. You just stay here and go one after the other, after the other, after the other. My point is you pretty much know, and I was on another podcast this morning that was just brilliant, with a bunch of us just kind of saying the same thing, is your funnel. Like, you got to get to, like, what is the core thing that you do? And if it works, why keep adjusting it? Right? Get to that core funnel and just keep repeating it. And some of you, like, then you got to say, well, I'll be bored. Well, then find creative outlets other places, right? That was a huge lesson. And I know I did it. I kept adjusting and fixing. I wasn't fixing, it wasn't broke, right? The big table's been the big table, been the big table. We've made adjustments, but we are the longest standing 20-year community in a mastermind and mentor program. And yes, we tweak it, we adjust, we bring different experts, we do different things to enhance. We don't just scrap it and fix it. So back to your funnels, back to your business plans. Like, a year from now, for those of you who are serious about making 6 figures, you better be doing what we're talking about. And I'm coaching a lot of you that are out here. So I'm kind of speaking directly to my clients today. Like, you need to be, like, very specifically living that plan. Like, what does your funnel say? And then you need to be doing enhancements on what's that top level funnel offer. What's the next level? What's the next level? And how many ask tell asks are in your calendar? Have you nailed your script? Right? Do you notice that none of this has changed? It's the same behavior. I think some people want to come to a call or come to a training or come to a lesson and have something new and fancy. I'm going to give you some distinctions on how to future pace to help you, some tools. I'll say that today. But it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff we do, right? We talk every day. We plan every day. We work on our funnels every day. We work on moving people through the funnels every day. We have ask tell asks every day. We're doing everything you're asking to do. The difference is I'm not doing all the work because I have a team. The difference is I'm making the money to pay for a team. You need to make the money to pay for a team. There's nothing I'm doing that none of you, that you can't create. You can all create this. You can all create a 6-figure month. You can create a 7-figure month. You can create whatever you want. The question is, do you have the planning, coordination, and team to do it? So think of future pacing as let's just go 90 days to put it in some perspective, right? The big activity is a year. I really want you to go out a year, but let's just look at your next 90 days. What are you doing in April, May, and June, right? How much revenue will you produce? And where you're supposed to look is not at your checkbook. You look at your past production. What was January? What did you do in January? What did you do in February? Like our team is getting ready, right? By next week, there'll be a portion of our team that will actually do a look back of March. How many new leads did we get? Where did they come from? How many sales did we make? What did everyone do? How many podcasts were on? What happened? What was our production? And what were our numbers? And so all of you need a calendar associated to your production. And you need to stop. But again, I'm going to go back to some starts, stops, and continues. A little bit of today's lesson isn't like brand new stuff, but it's perspective of how to use the tools that we've talked about. Really, I've taught for years, but how do you put them in perspective? What do you need to start doing based on your last month's production? So far in March, if this is, month 3 of a 12-month quarter, and you wanted to make $10,000 a month, I mean, you're at month 3, you better be around $6,000-$7,000 right now coming in the door. And you got less than a week as of tomorrow to finish that 10,000. And then in April, instead of just doing 10 every month, what are you going to enhance that could create 11,000 or 12,000? Or for some of you, just jump, sell more of your bottom ticket item and double your revenue. You're all sitting on the exact same thing. So if you have done what we've asked you to do, build your funnel, get inside your, we use Infusionsoft Keep account, or whether you're using Nimble or whether you're using Kartra, whatever account you're using for your database, and start looking what's happening to your database. Are you moving them? I know some of our students are putting out some summits. In the middle of April, we are going to just do it. It's going to be 3 hours. I'm going to do a how to build a 6-figure summit. So we've been doing a lot of other stuff. We have it's pretty ready. So we will be putting out some emails. I think we'll work to have some initial, just simple overview pages done by next week, just to get you all ready. But it's going to be a 3-hour course. I'm going to teach 2 hours, give you a bunch of homework, 2 different nights. I'm going to give you one night, give you a bunch of homework, do another night, do a bunch of homework, meet about a week later, and see if you're ready to do your summit. It's going to be that fast. How to launch a 6-figure summit and how to do a 6-figure, what should be a weekend. And many of you are ready for it. May not be in April, but once I teach it to you in April, then I would put it out. So you'll hear me. I'm going to say put it out September, October, November, and spend some time really ramping so you can put on your own big summit. It'll change your business. It'll change your life. It's going to change your team that you're going to need to put around you. So future pacing, calendar, number 1, right? What are you doing? And I want you I literally do not want you doing this, because you cannot see the patterns in this. You can't see 12 months. I mean, yeah, I can go here right now and I can pull up, my little calendar, and I'm going to put up, right here, and I can say, show me a year. You know what that year is going to show me? Nothing, just a whole bunch of random little dots on a tiny little screen. What I want is those ones you're going to order from an office store. I want a big calendar screen, and I want you, if you've never done it before. Now, if you've already done a lot of this, then you can go in 90-day increments. But doing a year, minimum 90 days, put in all of the, what I call revenue producing activities, number 1, right? Clearly, if you have health things, you have kids stuff, like literally lay down a calendar. There is an overlap that doesn't happen on here. So literally, and believe me, I drive my team crazy, and still, I will say they miss because of this one thing. There's a travel day. There's a putting out day, a putting in day to an event. There's all of these events. Like the overlay of activities is very difficult to see here, even if you look at a month, right, of all the overlays and all of the details that it takes to do. See, as the leader of your organization, future pacing is everything. Like everything, say, that Thomas does, I need at some level to know. Like, I don't need to know the nitty-gritty details at some level, but I need to know what podcast he's planning, what affiliate, things he's doing, when he's available to teach. I mean, just think about it. If you look at our rigorous schedule and the amount of team it takes to do our events, if we weren't future pacing, we would say, okay, team, we have an event on Friday and Saturday. Is everybody ready? And so we didn't know you were having a team, on Friday and Saturday. So literally, future pacing is for your teams. It's for yourself. It's for the systems that you run. It's literally owning the entire performance of what's going on. It's like today, like right after this, we have a clubhouse. So last night, today, right? Pacing with that, the person who's doing that, like, let's move. We got things like, there's just a constant movement of moving, I would say moving the dial. And as a leader of your organization, you're the one that gets to do it. You don't get to pass this off. Yesterday, I did an amazing podcast with Bob Proctor. It'll be out the first couple of weeks of April. We're going to continue our intention. Bob Proctor's coming soon. It'll be a 2-part podcast. Stunningly done. You will be at the edge of your seat after the first one, waiting for the next week for the next one to come out. And just so great to reconnect with one of my greatest mentors. And I can tell you a lot of our conversation was goal setting. It's about being in that action. It's about, Bob, if you don't know Bob, but I mean, from teaching, from how you manifest from your mind into that urge, into that feeling of what do you want? And it's up to you. You have to drive it every day. For those of you who are getting up in the day and saying, wonder what I'm going to do today. I mean, you must have striked your freedom day and you're not pacing towards anything. Now, some of you don't have like a rigorous, like our integrated wealth systems is a very rigorous schedule, right? We have clients every day. We have lives we're serving every day. For some of you, I'm going to go back. I'd say I'd look at, Kelly, I don't know if John's out here, like the Kristovich family. Okay, Cheryl, just some of the folks, you have a little longer cycle, right, for real estate transactions, but you want to mark your day. For example, Kelly, what do you want to do in April? How many transactions? And then you have to back up from those transactions. And well, April's probably too late. Those leads should be in the pipeline by now. So really, if you don't have goals, you say, number one, what comes first? You got to get leads in your pipeline. That's for all of you. And then number two, you need to be doing ask, tell, ask every day, 4 hours a day until your revenue producing goal is hit. All right. So if your goal is X number, Jason, of insurance policies, you don't stop ask, tell, ask day after day after day doing revenue producing activities called ask, tell, ask until that's hit. Right. Kelly, you've got to, continue marketing, for example, to get leads in your funnel. Right. So all of you, I mean, I'm just speaking to the ones that I know because I talk to them frequently, but you've got to, number one, get the leads in the funnel. Then you've got to pipeline them through your funnel, get them to buy things through your funnel. And if you're doing all the work, it's difficult to pace all the work. And there's a difference. Doing all the work means you're literally doing all the work, fingers to the keyboard. Pacing it is someone else is doing it, but you were leading, making sure that everything's orchestrated. Right? Can you imagine if I didn't future pace with Damon, what next week's big table might look like? I could tell you it would be a disaster. We've gone through it many times. In fact, tomorrow we're going back through it again. We're going to, walk the process from the setup to the takedown to getting ready to reset then for a real estate tour, from registration to what happens during the event. How do the PowerPoints get to see every piece of that? And you say, well, that's all obvious. No, it's not obvious. For most people that don't, what I call, we have this funny jargon we call in our company called connect the dots. If you haven't had to live to connect the dots because you've never managed people, you've never led projects, a lot of this is very foreign behavior. I don't know how many of you are new and you actually have never had an assistant. You've had, you haven't had even somebody really work for you. And I can tell you've got to get way in front of them. Like they can't just show up to your office or to your, I'll use that like as where you used to be, we're still in an office, without a desk set, without an internet, without an email set, without a phone set, with all their, tech set. Maybe they come with all their stuff, or maybe they're virtual with all their stuff. How are you going to lead them? I can tell you, if you have a VA, you can't just get up every morning, or you shouldn't be getting up every morning telling them what to do. You should say, this is what I need you to do in the month. This is what I would expect per week. If they're really good, they'll put back a proposal to you and say, this is what I'll do. And then you have an agreement of what the production is going to be. But you are up here leading the movement, the pace of all what's coming in the future. It is a significant activity. Most leaders don't do it that well. They miss the connect the dots. They assume everybody's going to talk to each other and they don't. So it's a constant making sure that the handoff is actually happening between tasks. I'll take, Kelly does real estate. You take a real estate transaction, it takes some orchestration, right? From getting the contract to getting to the closing table, to making sure the inspections were done, to making sure that the money's going to be wired, to making sure, all of that has to be done. Can you imagine in that real estate transaction doing that orchestration for your life? So when I'm talking future pacing too, my friends out there, I'm not talking just for your business. I'm talking your family needs to be an overlay of this entire calendar, your personal, things you need to do, health, I'm going to put in there, spiritual activities, whatever else you do needs to be an overlay. You say, well, that's just an organized calendar, Laurel. It isn't. The distinction is the connecting the dots and connecting the flow. There's a whole flow. If you've never read the book, Power versus Force, it's an amazing book. It essentially talks about a lot of this. So I'm talking about some of the good old stuff from my past in this month, and critical stuff that has made our organization successful, our team successful. And a lot of you got to lead your teams differently and future pace. Do they know what you're doing? Does everybody on your team know what you're doing in April? Do they know what you're doing in May? I can tell you, we're already in June in Boise planning for a table. And by the way, you guys in the table, since there's a lot of you out there, we have planned September and we have planned probably December. So we are going to Savannah, Georgia in September for the big table. I'll just announce it verbally out here. The East Coast has been begging for attention and love, and I said we give it to them. I think they thought we'd go to Florida or New York or Atlanta. We're going to Savannah, Georgia. This world-class location, historical, beautiful, awesome, on the water. Amazing food, amazing culture, and we're going to have an amazing time. People can fly in from New York. You can fly in from anywhere in the world. And then those who are international, who want an easier experience, you're going to fly into Las Vegas in Q4. So notice that's called future pacing. You say, well, that's just picking a date. Oh, no, it's not. It's everything included. So for a lot of you, it starts with a calendar. And it starts with every broken down task that has to be on the calendar. So it can't just be, well, I got to market that day. Well, who all needs to know about that? Who all needs to know about the sales? Who all needs to know about the transaction? Who all needs to know about the hotel? Or who all needs to know about the launch of the thing you're doing? Who all needs to know about the product you have? Whatever it is you're doing, there needs to be a pace to it. And you need to move into it every day, touch it every day, keep it going every day. A lot of your projects, I would bet, how many of you would agree? Put in the chat, yes. If things just keep getting moved over and over and over, whatever it is, it just gets pushed out. A goal, a commitment, a thing you said you were going to do. It just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and it's not getting done. Give me a yes if you have some of that in your life where you said you want to do something and it just keeps getting pushed out. I want to write a book. I want to start a webinar. I want to do a summit. I want to rebuild. I'm talking about my husband now. I want to rebuild an engine. He's got now 3 engines in the garage. He's got plenty of years of projects, right? So then you have to say, well, why is it pushed out? Look, I got almost a unanimous yeses. So how do you stop the yes that and make it a no? I'm going to actually commit to what I'm doing, right? So you're going to do that by laying out a calendar. And what does it take? So for some of you, especially those of you that are coaching with us, it is really, yes, time blocked, Sherry. You're going to time block very clearly in your day. But I want you to see the big visual. What are all the things that you need to do? And how do all the things get the coverage, right? Again, back to just, the new year, new you, is how does everything get the time and the attention? So you get to say, I have the life that I want. I'm actually doing the health things I want, the spiritual things I want, the family things I want. I'm doing talk about me now, my medical stuff, which is consuming my week. Those things that I need to get done. What is everything and how does it fit? So if it's just right here and it's spinning around your head or it's on a to-do list, it's not going to get done. It needs to be committed, right? It needs to be committed. I'm going to pre-sell my book. I'm going to launch it on, well, I'll say June 24th. What a great day. It's my birthday. Then get it done. And then you're going to back into it. So you'd future pace in a micro, right, plan. You're going to future pace the book launch. You're going to have it done. Everyone's going to get at least an ebook copy on June 24th. So what has to happen in May? What has to happen in April? What has to happen before April 1? That's future pacing. It's planning to a detailed level that most people don't sit down and do, which is why Jean Hess, I started our conversation, Acknowledge You, and Building, Leading, Protecting. You want to overlay future pacing with Building, Leading, Protecting, you're going to get a long way. Because it's really that detail of what does it take to have the year I want, the month I want, the day I want, right? And it's a constant work in progress. Do we do it perfectly? Oh my gosh, no. There are days that are just remarkable. And then there's days like, oh my God, it's so crunched, and you just didn't get it all done. So I would just be very mindful about why it gets pushed. And here's some things to notice. Is it because you just don't want to do the damn thing? Is it an old goal that's just lingering and you just don't want to do it? You're just not going to do it, right? So then just notice it and then take it off the list, right? Is it because you don't have the team and you really don't have the capacity to get it done? So then put an appropriate date on it, move it out consciously and by it being decided that you are moving it, and then get to work making money, get to the grad marketplace, get your sales done, and make the money to hire the team, right? So notice that there's a connectivity in everything that you're doing, anything already, and you're the one who has to lead it. No one else can lead it. So again, big mess, minimum 90 days. Ideally, you're looking at a year. You could, here's what 90 days could do, just imprint another quarter on a quarter, right? So whatever you did, if January, like Eileen and John, you said your January, February, March are great, then do some reviews, really do some reviews, look at them, and then imprint April, May, June. Say, all right, let's get Q2, but maybe we increase or tweak a few things. So it's not like every quarter could be new. A lot of it could be repeat, enhance, repeat, enhance, repeat, enhance, repeat. And those are how your quarters could be. But a month's not enough. A month's not enough. You've got to get out farther. Some of you aren't using all your coaching. You should have your coaching planned for the most part, or at least half of your sessions. I'd have them planned and then get to a point where say, and then I want to plan the rest of them. Have them in your calendar. Be very critical about just not chatting, about having things done and checked off. So notice why things are being pushed. Again, you just didn't want to, is a big reason. You don't have a team, another big reason. Why don't you have a team? Because you don't have the money to have a team. So again, what do you need to do? Go make the money so you can have the team. And if you don't want to do it, kill it, right? So notice the other part of it. Maybe you have the wrong team, right? Maybe you've been working on something and it's just not getting done, right? So we made adjustments in our last year. And, you know, one of our big goals, I mean, Thomas and Steve know, is we needed funnels. We need a lot more funnels, and we're getting there. We're getting a month after month after month, we get a new funnel on the internet and I up with Facebook ads. I'm, you know, projecting by the end of December, we'll have between a minimum of 15, if not 20 funnels running, because every one of these months we're doing some very intentional campaigns that will stay live and that will continue to generate leads and continue to generate opportunities. So it's you could call it a slow build, but it's going to happen. So for you, what's going to happen? What is the thing you're going to do to overlay into that calendar and have the life you want? You could have everything. So some tactics. So I work out of a goal book. It was originally Bob Proctor's Goal Achiever. Then I actually wrote it. I had our table members use it a lot. So some things, obviously, goals for the month, for the week, right, for the day. Notice, I'm going to give you some just cues. Like notice the one thing that moves you forward. What's the one thing every day that you get up to do? Like you have that urge, like you get up and do. What's the skill you need to work on or enhance per week? Kelly, drink coffee. Come on. This is a serious conversation. A couple of things I want to put. What's the habit you need to work on? What's the thing that actually tangles up your day? Right? I can tell you mine is putting too much in my day, thinking I'm superwoman, I'm going to get it all done. Some days I am superwoman. Some days I get close to superwoman. A couple of other things I just put in here because I think it's fun, and I do this all the time with our family, is the things you're grateful for. I think it's critical that you acknowledge what you're grateful for. You can, if you're a handwriter, like literally, we have these huge books that I have, co-authored, but literally, I need you to break down each task. So when you do your business plan, you'll start seeing strategies and tactics. So your strategy is the big thing, and then your tactics is everything it takes to get done. And then next to it, who's the team that needs to help get it done? And now, the hesitation I have in doing this on a broadcast or even our podcast is some of you just will say, well, I already do that, or I already do that, or I already do that. But like literally it's breaking down every task. Oh, I was going to say this, like the other reason I'm hesitant to say it is that some of you are going to use planning as your new reason to not get the revenue in the door. So it's a balance of maybe you need to get up an hour earlier every day to work on future pacing in your plans, right? Because they're not done. Because during your core day, and by the way, some of you, your core day needs to work into the evening because that's when people answer the phones, right? And working into the evening. We're pushing our team to work into the evening. At least one day a week, at least work until 7 or 8 when a lot of people are available. So I don't want you stopping your revenue producing activities, even though future pacing is one. It actually is not going to produce the cash. It's going to organize the structure of your life that money then can come in. So really, really important that you do that. And look at, so if you want to write a book like Kelly, you're going to know where your book is, but you know, if you're going to write the book, when's the deadline of the book and what's everything? Reverse engineer. Future pacing, although it sounds like a future activity, it's a reverse engineering activity. You set the goal, you set the date, and you back into it with everything that has to happen to make that thing happen. Like you have to imagine every big table we put on, we reverse engineer. We're going to put it on 29th and 30th. We'll all go out to September 27th and 28th, I think are the days we'll be in Savannah, Georgia. And guess what? My son's playing football on the 25th against Louisiana. So yes, we are going to have some fun with that one. If you want to come in advance, we're going to watch a Saturday football game, Sunday play. But I can tell you, like, we're looking at hotels, future pacing, it's a reverse engineering. You got to set a date. Now you got to set a hotel. I'm just using our company's example because a lot of you have been around. So for you, what is that? Right? What is the, Stephen asked, great, what's the time you devote to it? I'd say once you set the big plan, Stephen, it's really maybe 30 minutes max in a day, because you pretty much know what you got to do. What takes 30 minutes might be the orchestration of the team, right? Like we have a team meeting every day, right? Sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes, but it's about that. I don't, I actually should start calling it that for them. It's our future pacing meeting. So as we connect, what's everyone doing? Is all the dots connected for what's happening in that day and then what's coming, when that day, what's coming. So it just becomes a pattern. And so the more that your team is patterned, the less work it is. So I think in the beginning, Stephen, it's going to take time. And then once you get the rhythm of it, I think the first one is going to take some hours, and it's a great weekend activity. I can tell you, because if you're not on a revenue producing activity on the weekend, it's a good, like, I want to put all the areas of your life, right? Remember the 8 areas of your life that we talk about? Put them all up there. Are they all getting in the calendar? So a lot of times you'll get so micro, which by the way, it's okay to get micro, but then don't expect the rest of your life to have the same fulfillment levels. And it's by choice. So a lot, like, the future pacing is by design and by being decided. It is not by, I hope it's all going to get fit in. It's, I'm going to have it all. And this is how we're going to work it. And this is what's going to adjust. And this is when we're going to do different things. Right. So the time is really up to you. I wouldn't overanalyze it, knowing some of you. The reverse engineering is critical. Pick a date, pick a time, and back up. And the date and the time has a goal. So how much money are you going to make? How many, people are you going to have? Bob Proctor just shared with us. He had one of the biggest goals. He did an event. I think it was about 6 hours, he said, in total, I think is what he said. But it was like a long day spectrum event, might have been longer, because what he wanted in one big series is to have somebody from every country in the world dial in at one time. They didn't have to stay, but to dial in. So he literally could say he did an event in every country in the world, amazingly orchestrated. The future pacing to orchestrate something like that, I can't even imagine the cost of what it costs to have a team to put, one person in Tonga, one person in every little island country of the world showed up. How he did that, God bless him, man, what an amazing goal, and congratulations, he got it done. Don't know how it all happened, but Bob and I talked a lot about, in fact, about future pacing. In fact, he's the guy that introduced me to the owner of Remax, who actually really showed it to me, like literally had a wall calendar, had everything overlaid in colors, and how everything matched. And you ask him to do something, he would have time periods for openings for things like time with me to fit in his life. So it wasn't all consumed. So actually should qualify that. This isn't about filling up a big, busy schedule. It's fitting in the things you want. Big difference. This isn't filling a big schedule. I'm gonna say it again. Like, so you're busy, right? It's having the things you want designed and laid out, so you're going to get them. So if you're going to go away on a business trip, notice I didn't say vacation, right? Fit it in. When are you going to do it? Right? What am I doing to our big table? I'm going to be out there. I'm going to put something around it. I'm going to see my son, right? Some of you say, count me in for the game. Great. We will have to have an exact count, or you'll have to buy a ticket. I think they're $20 or something for that college level game. But you'll either be there or not. But all of that will be future paced. It'll be organized. It'll have structure to it. So a couple other things I want to have you. So projects by category. I want to speak to this though. Projects are one thing and process is another. So when you're future pacing, we're designing process. Right? What's the process of going back to back to back, right? We're designing quarters, we're designing a year. Projects are things that you can just start and be done. or start and then put into the process management. So like one of the things I'll kind of speak to my team is that we know we need to get cleaned up. I know they're talking to a team to do it, is our Amazon account. Our Amazon account has got to get cleaned up, right? Amazon's selling the most in the world. We need to be better prepared out there. So that'll be a project that then will become a process that somebody week by week will continue to maintain. So think projects and process, they're very different. And some of you, just knock off some stuff or reevaluate. Is it something that you've just wanted to do from before? And you can also just give yourself permission in this process, this time, to just put it out a while, right? Like for a long time, and this is still like, I still talk to my writer, right? I put a down payment. I started writing a book on our cannabis and our CBD projects. I don't know if you all remember that way back in the day. We didn't do any pre-orders on it because it was too far away and the team was too far away, meaning it wasn't decided. So it just kind of sat. And I told Eric, who's my writer, I said, we're just going to park it and it will come off the shelf when we're ready to unpark it. And it's not ready, right? I need hawthorn, I need plants, I need visuals. I want a total production. And then we'll take it off the shelf. Then we'll write about it. So it's okay just to go park things and say no to things and to restructure things. So let me go through a few other things. I have a success area of your, journaling or your calendar. What were you feeling successful about and for? And again, just month after month after month, it's a constant, structure of, goals and action items, which I call tactics. Again, the work that I have created of the Building, Leading, Protecting is probably the closest to the conversation we're having today. So with that, again, I want you to join our, those of you that are listening to our podcast, we're going to wrap up Laurel's Real Money Talks on that. Those of you that are in luck and money. Again, Thomas, talk a little bit about luck and money. And I do want to keep this in our podcast recording. I want people to know about luck and intention. I should say luck and money. Luck and intention is so critical that people get intentional. And this campaign is super fun. We're giving away $15,000. And as we go forward, we'll do it on a monthly basis because we're going to keep this campaign rolling.
So go to asklaurel.com/lucky to get registered. Again, it's very simple. All you do is get registered, you get points. Refer people, they get registered, they get points, and then the person who has the most points at the end of the contest will win the prize of $15,000 towards products for coaching, towards coaching. And again, it is perfect for everyone because it helps jumpstart that conversation about changing your mindset from mainstream math to millionaire maker math and really leading towards the money conversation that you all want to have. So again, go to asklaurel.com/lucky. You'll be able to get registered, get entered, and put yourself in the contest.
Absolutely. And next week is a big one. And it'll be a partial recording, actually, with my dear friend Martha on entrepreneurial leadership. So it's like the next level up. So if you notice, like there's 5 lessons, we've stacked them together very intentionally. All of this together makes you a very great entrepreneurial leader, or something at least you're going to work toward. And I think leadership's never done. I think it's a constant work in progress. It's not like, oh, I'm done, I'm going to check the box, I'm a leader. No, you're a constant leader once you start doing the life that we're teaching you to do. You're going to lead your family, you're going to lead you're going to lead your team, you're going to lead an organization if you create one, you're going to lead whatever you're going to be doing. So you're going to take intention, your financial, emotional IQ, self-management, future pacing, and round it up to next week. So share this with friends, please, please, please share with other people. And we look forward to next week, the 30th of March. So we'll be actually airing this from the room. I just realized that. So Steve and I will be together. We'll be in the Big Table Room in Reno, Nevada at the Whitney Peaks Hotel. So we'll be airing from there. We will be doing some clips, though, of a recording that Martha, who's, man, I've known her since 2002. Just an extraordinary coach and instructor in our community, Wharton MBA in marketing, and amazing woman who runs organizations and teaches some entrepreneurial leadership for us. So don't miss next week. Be there. And those of you at the Big Table, can't wait to see you on Monday, Tuesday. Our real estate tour is on Wednesday. So we have a huge end of March. What is that saying? March, comes in like a lion, leaves like a lamb. Or ours must have came in like a lamb because it's leaving like a lion. My God, who stacked this up? No, we did. So it's good. We stacked, and a lot of we got stacked because of my little injury at the beginning of the year. So we're excited about it. Excited about you. Any other announcements or things going on? We got a great marketplace coming in this week, folks. So graduate marketplace Friday, Saturday. Thomas, say a little bit more about that as well.
Yep. So we have our Millionaire Maker Meetup and Marketplace starting this Thursday, where we'll have a number of people joining us again to learn how to change our conversation towards Millionaire Maker math, again, away from mainstream math. Also have our graduate and marketplace. So starting Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific, for those event attendees and all of you who have lifetime access to that venue, you'll be able to come and connect with other folks, do some ask, tell, ask, and serve one another and make some money at the same time. So that's 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific on Friday, as well as 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific on Saturday. I also have the room open on Saturday for those of you who can't make it on Friday nights. Again, great opportunity to not only connect with other folks in the community, see what everyone else is doing, but to meet some new folks and sell and serve in the same time. So emails will be going out from the team from that to help promote that access. As always, though, if you need assistance, you can reach out to the team by calling 775-588-9200. Again, that's 775-588-9200.
Yep. And again, if you haven't been, let us know. I think Molly just put our number in the chat. So graduate market, I think most of you have been. So I will expect to see you graduate marketplace. And super fun, great way to end our quarter together. And I think we're good. I think this is a wrap. We will see you and talk to you next Tuesday, 12 noon Pacific at the Marketplace Awareness on Ask Laurel. Thanks. Bye, guys.